Today I am going to visit the Amsterdam Aviation Fair, a big collector's event where you can buy anything from aircraft models, airplane parts, and all other kinds of interesting aviation collectibles. The Amsterdam Aviation Fair is the biggest aviation fair in Europe, and it takes place in a hotel close by Schiphol Airport. Today is the 8th edition of this yearly event. With 167 exhibitors, there is so much fun to explore. From big shops and brands selling their products to lovely individuals selling their personal collection of airplane scale models in all scales. 1 to 500, 1 to 400 and 1 to 200 scales are all widely available. The Aviation Fair is a great place to score some bargains and deals, find really rare aircraft models, and meet awesome people who share this hobby of aviation collecting. In this video, I'm going to show you everything about this aviation event. Take a look at a few specific sellers who offer some really cool aircraft models or items for your model airport. I'm going to show all the weird collectibles that you could buy on this event. And in the end, I'm going to show you my purchases. Let's take a look. There is no better way than displaying the models you're selling on a model airport. A Swedish gentleman did so on a fantastic realistic looking airport. Talking about model airports, you could of course also buy complete airports. Like this one you see right here or standing on the ground, and also that terminal is for sale. At this particular stand, I bought this aircraft hangar. It is produced by Fantasy Wings and it comes with lights installed, and I paid 50 euros for it. A great deal as it originally costs almost 200 euros. Of course, you could also buy ground service equipment. All of those tiny vehicles that drive around the airport. On this stand of Wings 400, they had such incredibly detailed vehicles. In these silver boxes is a bunch of KLM branded ground service equipment. Super detailed, but therefore also a bit more costly. This stand also featured this nice looking departure board, which was fully customizable, a funny aviation geek item, and it came for only 25 euros. On the fair you can find limited edition special releases like this Transavia A321neo in the 1 to 100 scale. Another cool special release was on this diecast trading stand. Here they only offered 1 to 200 scale aircraft models, and they had a special release of this Martin Air Cargo Boeing 747 freighter. A huge and incredible looking aircraft model. Limited edition, and on the fair they had a special price of 120 euros for it. On this stand were a bunch of 1 to 400 and 200 models for sale, including this really nice looking display case. An awesome way to showcase your model, and I like the lights installed in the ground off the runway, though it does come at a price of 250 euros. The Aviation Fair is a great place to discover new brands and companies, or have a look at the already existing well-known manufacturers like Herpa Wings. They had a tiny stand where they showcased their upcoming releases and new projects like this 777X, or this lovely looking Lufthansa Dreamliner in the 100-year livery. At the stand was a Herpa Wings representative who nicely answered all your questions about the Herpa Wings company. And like I said, the Aviation Fair is a great place to discover new manufacturers and brands. That is where the stand of 3D Design Deck caught my eye. They produce 1 to 4 and 200 scale aircraft models. All of them are 3D printed and have incredible detail. They currently only produce regional aircraft like the ones you see here. Exactly what we needed, as these kinds of models simply did not exist before. It's a Canadian company run by a husband and wife, and a model costs around 40 euros, which is a very reasonable price considering how detailed it looks. Like you probably know by now, you can buy so many aircraft models on the fair. But there were so many more aviation collectibles for sale, which I'm going to show you now. How about a bunch of airport taxiway lights that you can buy and use as decoration in your home, for example? Or a pilot uniform jacket that you could buy for 65 euros. Cockpit parts and instruments were also largely for sale. For 1000 euros you could become the owner of this Boeing 727 cockpit panel. And on this other stand they had a bunch of Airbus cockpit parts. These are all components of the overhead panel, I believe. And they were all for sale for a few hundred euros per part. And in between all of these boxes of avionics, they also had actual airplane propellers lying around. You could also buy an aircraft window, or on this table are a bunch of life vests and a safety demonstration kit. Or what about an emergency exit door? In great condition, so probably not actually used, but you could buy it for 600 euros. The next table is completely filled with KLM Delft Blue houses. These miniature Dutch houses are filled with liquor and given to business class travelers. They were for sale for 10 euros per house. For those who love military aviation, they for example sold all of these pilot helmets. Another stand sold all of these fighter jet models. And they all look so incredibly detailed. I really enjoyed this model with the parachute dragging behind, and you can see the two pilots sitting in their seats. This next stand featured some incredible looking aviation art. These posters are created by Studio 11. It are graphic designs of aviation icons printed on high quality posters. Really cool to see. And now I would like to show you all the things I have bought on the aviation fair and what I paid for it. In total I got 9 models and 1 hanger and spent 270 euros. The first model is a 1:400 scale Qatar Airways Executive Bombardier Global 5000 model that I bought for 40 euros at the stand of 3D Design Deck. It's an incredibly tiny model, but it does come with all of the details, antennas, really detailed markings, so a great model. Next is this Garuda Indonesia Airbus A330neo, a model by JC Wings, and I got it for only 15 euros as when I took it out of the box the front nose gear was broken off. I glued the wheel back once I arrived at home and it looks decent, so for 15 euros I like this model. Up next is a Spirit Airbus A320 by Velocity Models. The manufacturer does not exist anymore, but their models are really nice. The model has detailed paint markings, it does not come with any antennas, but I'm a big fan of this Spirit model. For 30 euros, a great addition to my American narrow body collection. Moving on to this Wizz Air Airbus A321. By NG Models, this is a really high quality model airplane for which I paid 25 euros. This particular model is in the Wizz Air Abu Dhabi colors. A great model. Next is this Gemini Jets Hawaiian Boeing 717-200. The aircraft is slowly retiring in real life, but Gemini Jets made a nice model of it. I'm a big fan of the purple colors on the aircraft and a tropical livery on the tail. For a price of 35 euros, a great deal for this iconic model airplane. Up next is this Southwest Boeing 737-700 by NG Models, for which I paid only 15 euros. It's a lovely model airplane, great colors, and you might be wondering why so cheap. Well, it misses an antenna in the middle. Right here you see a hole, where that tiny antenna should be, and therefore the model was priced at only 15 euros. Up next is this American Airlines Boeing 767-200. Really nice and shiny looking thanks to the silver chrome livery. And this model was actually for free, and you might be wondering why. Well, all because it misses 2 landing gear, which makes them almost impossible to replace, and the seller told me you can have it for free or I will throw the model away. The next model is this Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-900 in the More to Love livery. A really nice livery with a cool color gradient. This model is in perfect condition without any damages, and I paid 30 euros for this model, which is another cool addition to my American narrow body fleet. And that brings us to the last model, which is this Air China Airbus A350 XWB. Another very colorful model airplane thanks to the Expo 2019 colors with a nice gradient once again. The model was priced at 35 euros, is in perfect condition, and was the last model I bought on the fair. The only downside is this landing gear doesn't look very neat. And that marks the end of all my purchases. When I walked out of the fair, a nice lady of the organization approached me and asked whether I wanted to have this Thomas Cook Airbus A321 for free. Me being me, I of course said yes, but I don't really have any purpose for this model, which is why I wanted to give it away to you. Subscribe to my channel and comment down below why you want to win this Thomas Cook Airbus A321 1-200 scale model. The winner will be announced in the next video. And that's also where this video ends. It was a lovely event. The aviation fair was a great success. Here you see flyers of all other kinds of aviation fairs. If this video gets enough support, I might visit one of these other fairs, and otherwise next year the aviation fair will take place again, where I will certainly be visiting. Now thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. Be sure to comment down below why you want to win that Thomas Cook Airbus A321. Please consider to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again in the next video.